middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war.
No.
Hey, Daddy. What are my
My kids are already coming in here. They weren't in bed 2 minutes. Yes, girls.
The sounds are.
I know. Go to bed. I'll put them on. No, you can't have vitamins. Go. It's too late. They're like sugar. You want to be on there when I was doing that?
Nope.
You're like, it's gonna get awkward. I gotta get off here. I gotta get off here. All right, so we got the kids. They're called Yodos for Christmas.
Yodos?
Yeah, they're called Yodos. So they're like little radios, and you can either stream stuff to them, and it's like they have a bunch of kids channels, or they have cards they can put in them. You can load things on cards, but they have nighttime sounds that we put on for them every night. Like right now, they wanted rainy car ride, so it sounds like a rainy car ride right now when they go to sleep. So every night they usually like noisy fan, or sometimes they want like dryer or something. Like whatever helps you sleep, we'll do that. I'm in the house tonight because I'm the only one home. My wife's out of town, and so I've got the kids all by myself, which is if it doesn't tell me that I'm not supposed to be a caretaker, I don't know what does. My wife has to be a saint to be dealing with these kids all day, because like I'm having to work and take care of them all day and just keeping them out of hair as I talk to clients and stuff. And it's been rough trying my patience. Good thing I'm in a state of grace since Saturday, so I'm good.
I'm just trying to make sure we don't burn down again up here.
I saw that. Wait, have you not been getting any rain?
We got rain maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But it's just so hot. Which, I mean, maybe not for you, but it's really hot for up here.
Yeah.
At 100 today.
Yeah, it's we've been getting a little bit of rain almost every day for like, I mean, just not a lot. We'll get like spots of rain, but it's kept the temperature down the past 4 or 5 days, which has been nice. Before that, it was 95, felt like 102, which confuses me, because if it feels like 102, it's 102. Like it doesn't matter what the number says; it matters what it feels like.
Yeah, it hit 100 real temperature here today. So,
y'all got any rain coming?
Wednesday maybe. But see, the problem was we got rain. Maybe it's only been a week, but we got a lot of lightning with that rain. That sparked fires in areas that are really, really hard to get to. Yeah. Those fires have just kind of smoldered for a week until it turned 100 and windy.
I've got a buddy. He's out in Nevada. I think he's like a correction guard. I was in the Marines with him, and he's got this fire coming down a hill towards him, and he's just watching. He's like, I'm not leaving. He's like, this is his other house burnt down from a wildfire. He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to die at my house, I guess. I'm not going anywhere. And it stopped like 2 miles from his house. They were able to get it under control. So I was like, man, because I remember last time he was like Facebook Live in it.
Really?
He was like having to escape his house, and there's embers flying through the air. It looked like hell.
Jeez.
And this time he's like, I'm not doing it. I was like, I'll just die here. I'm not doing it again. Good on you, man. I'm glad they stopped it.
Oh.
Yeah, we've had I've got I don't know, probably 180-year-old tree out my pasture, and it got struck by lightning a couple of years ago, and then it finally died this year. It's a big, huge tree too, man. I want to get somebody to come over here and timber it for me and bring it down and just give me like half the wood, because it'd be some amazing lumber. But
Big old oak, or what is it?
it is a, what is it? It's not a water oak. I think it's white oak, maybe hickory. One of the two. It's an old tree, man. That like you'd have to have like 4 people holding hands to get your arms around it.
Nice.
It's huge. I've got a few of those trees on my property, but that was the oldest one. I remember it got hit by lightning because I was sitting 2 feet that way, and I was right by the window, and it rattled the house. And I was like, I thought it exploded. I thought it was like a bomb went off because I'm not far from a military base, and they do explosions all the time. I was like, man, they hit close that time, but no, it was lightning right out the way. So you've had an adventurous week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ventured into Nova Sordo land for a little bit. But,
Yeah, another family funeral that was joyful.
I'd almost rather go to like a Baptist funeral.
There would be less scandal there for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. I remember my dad died 13 years ago. I think 2013. So yeah, 13 years ago. And I wasn't like I was still. I wasn't agnostic, but I had just started coming back to Christianity at the time. A couple of years before that.
Yeah,
and I wasn't quite Catholic yet. But my dad had he had his wake at the funeral home, and I remember the priest gave the homily there for his funeral, and it was for his wake anyway. And he was talking about how my dad's name was Martin. He said, "Well, Martin, didn't come to church, too often because he found his church out in nature." And like at the time, I was like, it kind of felt weird. I was like, and now that I look back on it, I'm like, oh man, like you could have just not said anything.
Yeah,
just don't bring that up. But that's. I wish that was the first one I've heard like that, and the last one, but it's not.
No,
they're more like that than anything else.
We have 15 more years of funerals like that at least.
I won't have to deal with it too much because not a lot of my family here is Catholic. A lot of my family up Kentucky is, but they're all starting to come back to the faith. In fact, I visited my aunt, my godmother back in Christmas, and she had her boys there, and I had brought my aunt. We had a talk about a year and a half before that at my cousin's wedding, and my cousin's husband was not Catholic, but he was inquiring about it, and she had just started coming back to the faith through like Taylor Marshall and all that.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to her husband about like some of the things. He was just asking me just questions like, well, what is purgatory, right? Whatever. So I gave her, an explanation about purgatory, how it's like the front porch of heaven, and it's basically like where you clean, you're purified before you make it into heaven. And my godmother was there, and she heard it. She goes, "I've never heard it explained like that. I didn't know like purgatory was like that." I'm like, "You're my godmother. You're supposed to know this stuff. You were supposed to help teach me this stuff. I should not be teaching you these things." But anyway, so for Christmas this last year, I went to go visit her, and I brought her the Ignatius Study Bible, but like just the New Testament because the full one that wasn't out yet.
Yeah,
and I brought her that, and one of her, her boys were there, and I started talking to one of them, and he was, raised Catholic, but he got married, and his wife kind of pulled him into like Calvinism, and we were having a conversation and talking about things, and we saw eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but I was not. I mean, y'all know me, like y'all see me on the show, like this is how I am in real life, and I was not pulling punches on things. Like, look, man, you can't believe that stuff. You're going to hell, right? That you're Catholic. Like whether you think you're Protestant, you're not. You're baptized, confirmed Catholic. You're Catholic, and you have basically reneged on your vow to God. And if you don't come back to the church, you're going to hell. There's nothing you can do about it other than come back to the church. It's the only thing you do. I guess that I like to think that kind of put a spark in him, because about a month ago I was checking on Facebook, and he had come back into the church and got his kids baptized at a Catholic church.
Nice.
And so then, like, a lot of my family's starting to lean that way now, and I like to think it's because of me, because I'm egotistical.
Reneged. Ocean.
No,
RENE.
Reneged. Nigged. we're not niggardly on this show. We're willing to give some stuff up. But anyway, so I think it's me having conversations and then them talking to other people and then realizing like, hey, like I need to look into why I believe this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. You just can't go back to like, well, my pastor said that was, what the faith is. Like, well, where did he learn it? And where did he learn it from? And where the guy before that learned it from? Eventually it gets back to, well, I just made it up.
Eventually, yeah.
And I'm starting to see that happen a little bit, and it's good because it's about the only side of my family that I like to be around. It's like my mom's family is all kinds of jacked up, which is why I'm jacked up. But anyway,
all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Sometimes you do have to call a bro a fag. You do.
That's true. 100%.
You gotta just look, man. If you can't be honest with your friends, they're not your friends. Like you need to be willing to accept correction, and they need to be willing to accept correction from you. Right? Because if you don't love your friends and you're willing to tell them the hard truths, like you're not friends. These are the guys you just hang out with occasionally because you're too afraid to talk about hard topics. Ocean's not getting banned. He's our token. We can't get rid of him. We got affirmative action in here.
Anthony's not here, so Ocean's fine.
Ocean will be fine. He usually doesn't like he can cross the line a little bit more here.
Anthony just sees a young version of himself when he looks at Ocean, and it scares him.
Well, except for Anthony knew his dad. So, all right. Let's see. Well, Ocean's a good dude. He's the only look. I'm telling you, he's the only one that wished me a happy Father's Day out of everybody who watches the show. So, I'll always like Ocean.
Hear that, everyone else? Adrian noticed.
I have a super low bar, people. All right. Looking at some of these comments. I never watch y'all's comments, so I only unless it comes up right before I see it. I'm not a Joshua Charles. I don't constantly look at the comments. Look, all my best friends that I had growing up were guys that got knocked down, drag out fist fights with. Every single one of them. I had this buddy, Andy, in high school. We got into a fight one time, and from there, it just became like a weekly thing. But we were like the best of me and him, and this other guy named Travis, we hung out with all the time. And we turned it into like a thing where we just like weekly, we would get together, we just fight. Not like out of malice, not because we just like, hey, this is kind of fun. It's kind of like it was like Fight Club before Fight Club. Because this is back before Fight Club came out. But I'm the dad that never came back. Y'all want to see the Father's Day gift my wife got me? It is a white oak Glencairn, or as they call it, a noser. Tonight I'm drinking some Peerless, which I'm excited to go see again in Louisville when I go this week.
Oh, and the distillery?
Uh-huh. It's so my wife, we went there back in 2013, right before I got out of the Marines. We went for my birthday, and we went to the distillery at the time, and they weren't able to sell their bourbon yet because it wasn't aged enough. So all they were selling was like moonshine almost,
Right.
It was like commercial moonshine.
Yeah.
But about 2 years later, they were able to sell it, and I got a bottle, and it's one of my favorite bourbons. I'm very surprised I liked it. It's just like one of those happenstance things where I happen to go, and they do everything old school, like an old copper still and everything. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and grab a couple bottles because I can't get like the closest places around here. Well, they started selling it here lately, but prior to this, I had to go to Georgia to get it. All right, let's see. All right, do y'all want us to go ahead and get the topic, or
what was it?
I was gonna say, do y'all want us to go ahead and get into the topic, or we can keep talking? I got nothing to do.
Well, as long as your kids actually fall asleep.
Yeah, that's true. They're going to come down here at least once more. At least one more time, especially the girls. We watched yesterday. My wife left early, so we came home. We just kind of hung out all day, and we watched Fellowship of the Rings.
Oh man, I have some interesting memories from fighting cock.
I bet you used to have to fight cock all the time.
There was a lot of fighting cock on the
There's
rugby
a lot
team.
of it. There's a lot of it. Couldn't keep him away.
We fought the cock all the time. Oh, okay, hold on. If knickknacks help you go to sleep, you have ADHD. And I know that because knickknacks help me go to sleep. Knickknacks
I'm
and
a-
can of Monster, and I'm out.
I'm at a point now where like caffeine will not keep me from going to sleep.
No, I think it helps me.
I don't drink a whole lot of coffee either. Not anymore. Like when I was in the fire service, when I was in the Marines, I could drink a pot a day, no problem. But now I drink like 2 cups in the morning. That's about it.
Did I pregame what? Knickknacks? Yes.
Or fighting cock.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're talking rugby, yeah, there was a lot of fighting cock before rugby games.
She asked if you pregame tonight.
I don't know. I hope.
Did you
No.
pregame?
I never drank White Claws.
Hey, when you're drinking claws, there are no laws. Did you ever drink Four Loko? Before they neutered it?
No, which is because it was big when I was in college drinking fighting cock. So,
It was Four
but then you're
Loko.
right,
Like
they
that.
they got rid of it then.
Yeah, and like I'm surprised that was ever legal. That was I won't say I've never been that drunk in my life before, but it was a different type of drunk. Like the first time I ever got drunk, I was like 18 years old. It was Thanksgiving. I drank an entire 5th of Jose Cuervo. Tasted tequila for like 2 weeks after that. So that's why I don't drink tequila anymore. But man, Four Loko is a different type of inebriation.
There's no like single Jaeger story necessarily. I just don't like black licorice.
Did you ever do Jaeger bombs? Jaeger bombs.
Hope they're not. No, we're talking about bourbon. There's a 103 proof bourbon named Fighting Cock that we did actually drink a lot of on the rugby team.
Hope missed our show, is what it is.
Yes.
She's probably way more entertained on this show than she is on your other one.
100%. Yes. You can only hear so many Anthony stories until they're all the same. Oh no, you're broke. Your boat broke again. Imagine that.
So how's that side by side?
It's fun, man.
Aren't they?
Yeah, it's fun.
I've got a couple of guys from the parish who they've had like kidney problems since they were born.
Yeah.
And one of them just had to have a kidney transplant. He's only like 18 years old. But they were apparently on the Make-A-Wish list.
Yeah.
And some local guy just gave them a side by side, as a Make-A-Wish thing.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to sell it to me because they don't really use it. So I was like, well, give me a price and I'll think about it. But it's like a $35,000 side by side. It's got air conditioning,
Fully enclosed, air conditioning,
yeah.
speakers,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to buy that. Like that would. I don't know if I want to pay that much for a side by side. Like I looked at just getting like a Gator, just for around the farm, but.
Well, so not this last weekend, the weekend before I rented one because, our town is right on a network of trails that, it's like a few 100 miles of trails around the area here. And everyone in town has one. A lot of people just use them literally to drive around town here because most of them have the enclosed ones with AC and heat and all that. So we rented one to see, if we thought it would be worth buying. We rented this one wasn't enclosed, but it was that same style. And it was fun, but it was rough on trails, because that style really
wasn't very good.
Well, yeah, it really is meant more for like on a farm, on a ranch, something like that, right? And it was fun, but like I said, rough on the trails. It was not super comfortable to ride in. So the place we rented it from here in town was selling one of last year's rentals of more of us more the style for riding on trails.
Mhm.
And that's the one I decided to buy, and much more comfortable on trails. It's
Yeah.
not enclosed, but it will be fun. No, I got a Can-Am Maverick Sport Max, I think. But like it's gonna be great for hunting in the fall,
Mhm.
grouse hunting and stuff like that, and should be a lot of fun.
Ocean's giving Hawk some hard time. Hawk said he's going to go have dinner with his family.
Wait, what?
Hawk said he's going to have dinner with his family, and Ocean's over there telling him, just watch it and eat your chicken breast and rice. Be all right.
Imagine that. Ocean just assumes everyone else eats chicken.
Look, fried chicken's good.
It is good. It is.
We have like a myriad of those chicken strip places down here in Alabama,
You
like Raising Cane's and
Raising Cane's,
Fusakli's and all that.
Bojangles, all those.
The best one is a local Alabama one called Guthrie's. By far the best. Like it's not even a competition.
Really?
Like Raising Cane's is very bland, and the dipping sauce is okay. Zaxby's is okay, but it's too commercialized. Fusakli's, the chicken is terrible, but they have like any dipping sauce you want. Guthrie's has good chicken, good tea, and a good dipping sauce. We went to Tuscaloosa, where University of Alabama is.
Mhm.
That was the first time I had Fusakli's, and I couldn't eat it. Like, and look at me, like I've never missed a meal in my life, and I couldn't eat Fusakli's. It was terrible.
Really?
I don't even know if they can call that food. It was not good. But chicken is mid-protein. Yeah, chicken is mid-protein. You need to eat red meat. Chicken's okay as a filler if you're tired of red meat for a little bit, as like a change up, right? But you need to be eating like organ meat. You definitely need to be eating organ meat.
Or
Liver, kidneys.
I mean, liver meat, yeah, or organ meat, yeah, definitely really nutritious. But even just like actual grass-fed, grass-finished beef, like so different than the commercialized stuff. You know what I mean?
is.
Like, I mean, better than I know, I'm sure, but it tastes. I don't even know how to describe it. It just has so much more flavor.
When we go to get our cows processed at this processor here, they're a couple counties away. Your concern always with getting them processed somewhere else is if they're going to steal any of your meat, because some of them will and they'll sell it. We've run into that a couple times, unfortunately.
Really?
So this one guy we use, he hates the taste of grass-fed beef. Like it has to be corn finished for him, so I don't have to worry about him stealing my meat, right? But our steaks are like nothing even comes close to it. Like I like corn-fed beef too, corn-finished beef anyway. It is good as well. But the issue you have, because corn-finished beef is a little bit milder of a taste.
Yeah.
But the reason they finish them on corn because it fattens them up fast, right? And that's usually one, you can't get non-GMO corn in the United States. You can't get it in Mexico. You can't get it in Canada. You have to get it imported from out of the continent, pretty much. So if you want corn, it's not going to be non-GMO. So you're going to have some issues. And the issue with non-GMO or GMO corn is the reason GMO corn is used is they genetically modify it so it's resistant to pesticides and herbicides. So it can spray the shit out of it, right? All they want. So and when they store it, they spray it again, and they never clean it before it goes into your food. So that's the issue with GMOs is because it's going to be tainted with chemicals, which cause like glyphosates and things of that sort, which causes issues. So even if you like corn finished beef, it doesn't matter if you like it because it's going to cause issues enough. If you eat it enough, it's going to build up in your system. You're going to have problems processing out. Your liver can't handle all of it, which is why you have some people have glyphosate poisoning. For instance, like some people, like no matter what they do, they just can't lose weight. It's because they have so much glyphosate in their fat stores that their body will not let them process the fat out because it will poison them. So it just stays there and they can never lose weight. So it's not a thermodynamic issue where, less calories in and more calories expended, you lose weight. It doesn't matter. your body will not process the fat because it knows it will poison you if it does.
This is interesting. Americans are corn finished. Euros are grass fed. So therefore Euros would taste better. This is the Polak. I remember.
We remember you, Schmoopy. So it depends. Like here in Alabama, lately we've been using a place called Weaver's up near. It's like closer to Huntsville, and it's a little bit of a drive, but it's worth it. They process better. Their cuts are better. But if you can process it yourself, you should. The problem with processing a cow is it's a multi-day endeavor. You're taking not only from the kill to the splitting, but then you have to let it age for 2 weeks. And then once it's aged for 2 weeks, you pull it down, you part it out. That's 2 days by itself just to part it out. If you're a single guy doing it, right? If you got multiple people helping out, it might take you a day.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 6-hour shift, right? But pigs you can do by yourself in 2 days. I've done pigs. I will pay to do pigs right now just because it's cheaper and it's less time intensive for me to do that. It's worth it for me right now. The time cost benefits there. I make more money in a day to pay for that than it would cost me to save money to do it myself. Right now it makes sense, but I know how to do it. So in the event that I have to do it, I don't have a choice, I can do it.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Can you believe that guy only come out with like a couple of broken bones?
Man, he caught some air. Oh man.
He was at least 10 feet in the air.
Which video did you enjoy more? That one or the Russians who mounted the machine gun off axis?
I thought the Russian one was fake at first when I first saw it. I thought it was let me sorry. I got this like
You thought it was AI?
I did. I thought it was fake.
Until you saw the other guy grab the barrel by the hand and pull it, obviously burn himself. Like, no, that's real.
That trainer ducked just in time. You almost saw a bunch of pink mist.
Yeah,
that was super close. But it's being in the military, you see close calls like that all the time. Like when I was it was Marine combat training. So after boot camp in the Marines, you go to what's called MCT if you're not infantry, which is Marine combat training. It's like a truncated infantry training. It's where you throw your first grenade. And like they put you through like a 1-hour class on how to throw a grenade before they do it. And then you go into the grenade pit and it's like they do it by the numbers. They're like, all right, hold the grenade, you hold the grenade, pull the pin, outstretch arm, throw the grenade. And some people throw the pin instead because they're so like worked up, and then they drop the grenade. Like I've seen more Marines have to grab a guy and throw him out of the pit to get him away from the grenade. And it's just like, or like they'll throw the grenade and it'll go like barely over the wall,
Oh.
But you see close calls all the time, man. I saw more close calls in training than I ever did in war. The couple of times I went to combat, like the close calls weren't nearly there, but in training, man, because you got dumbasses all the time in training.
True.
They don't know what they're doing, and they're learning a skill for the first time, and they're all amped up and they're anxious and nervous all at the same time, and they freak out and make bad decisions.
It's about as bad as going to an indoor range with a bunch of oceans people.
I would not make it on alone only because I don't have the skills. I could be by myself for 6 months. Like that's not an issue. That's not a problem at all. But like you telling me I've got to eat like snails for 6 months and I'm gonna have to be cold all the time. Like, nah, I'm good. Like, why would I do that unless I had to? Like the prize money's not worth it. Like, give me $1 million and I'll try. There was a really good show I don't want to say a long time ago. It was probably 15 years ago. It was on like one of those weird channels like USA Tomorrow or something, like one of those like weird like off-brand channels. what they did is they took like 12 people from different walks of life, teachers, secretaries, engineers, whatever, right? They trained them for 2 weeks. And then then what it was is they're all together. They worked as a team and they drop it in one location and they have to create a place to live there for like 2 or 3 days. And at the end of 2 or 3 days, they have to go to another location, but they can only take what they can carry. Right. So, and they don't have backpacks. So they got to like make slings and all this other stuff. And they go to the next location. They're there for a couple more days and they go to another location. Right. And the locations get harder and harder and harder. And that was an amazing show. That was because the guy who ended up winning it was an elementary school teacher who'd never seen the woods before in his life because he grew up in like urban Manhattan.
Really?
But he ended up winning it because he was the last one to make it to the last position. He was the only one to make it to the last. He ended up going to the next position. They had like 12 positions they had to go to. I wish I could remember the name of that show, man. Because at any time, if you didn't want to do it, you pressed the button, they brought a helicopter in and got you out. You're done. Like if you're like, oh, I'm too cold. My toes have been too cold for so long. Let me press the button. Right. They come and get you. They get you out. Right. But that show, like those guys had no training other than a 2-week course they did right beforehand. And just seeing what people are willing to like put themselves through and like what their grit was. That show was great, man. I wish I could remember what it was. I'd like to watch it again. Lore Lodge. You still watch that guy?
Every once in a while, yeah.
I can't stand his voice.
Like me with
not only
the
that,
show.
but I don't need you coming in here and raining on my parade and giving me a plausible explanation for things. Like, let me believe there's Sasquatches.
What's
Right?
funny, when he first started, he was totally on that side, and now he's on the other side.
He doesn't believe the supernatural is what it is. He doesn't.
No, he does. Or in fact,
Does he?
You know,
He sure
you
likes
know,
to pop that balloon a lot.
You know that Protestant Michael Heiser.
Yeah, actually, I've got his book.
Yeah, he's a big Michael Heiser guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
I got the second edition. Have you seen? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Let me show you this edition. You can still hear me because I have my headphones in.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
All right.
Nukes aren't real, but Bigfoot apparently is.
Yeah. Who do you think? Well, I won't get into that. So the Unseen Realm.
Yeah,
Look at this cover, right? Like you can see through it, right? And then because this, you know that, it's awesome. But it's a second. Where's my GOA card in here? But I haven't gotten to read it yet. But I'm excited to read it. It's about book 14 on my list I have to read.
Ocean, trust me. Adrian won't believe the elves are stealing his crap.
No, not unless elves wear small hats and have worn out feet from walking, dry riverbeds.
What?
Someone's gonna get it.
Dry riverbeds or dry Red Sea beds?
Dry Red Sea beds.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, the dark elves. The dark elves steal his stuff.
That's right. What was that R.A. Salvatore book? Dritz Duarden?
You ever seen the Wartime Stories channel on YouTube?
No.
It's like ghost stories, except from the military. It's pretty good.
Did they do that? Did they start out with a giant?
It didn't start off,
Kandahar?
but they've definitely done the giant of the giant of Kandahar. Yeah,
I believe in the giant of Kandahar. I'll tell you why. Because I know too many guys third hand that knew guys from that unit that are scared to go to Kandahar because of it.
fair.
And these are guys who who they can't count the amount of Taliban they've killed. But they're like, I'm not going there, that area, in Kandahar province. So, got it. If you're scared to go there, I'm scared to go there.
It's a good way to look at it. What is the giant? Are you asking what the story is, or are you asking what Adrian thinks the giant actually is?
We need clarification.
Because one involves a long story and one involves a much shorter answer.
Which one's the longer answer? My answer or the real answer? Well, that doesn't help. Oh, Kanye.
Yeah. I was gonna say- Oh, okay. Do you want to briefly tell the story of the giant of Kandahar?
Basically, like quick 30-second synopsis of the story. Some SF dudes went into Afghanistan. We're going to snatch up a dude. Ran across a cave. A giant, like 8-foot spear comes out, impales the dude, impales one of the SF guys. They unload in the cave. The giant comes out, starts attacking them. They kill the giant. They call it in.
After much gunfire.
After a lot of gunfire. They call it in. Medevac comes in. Well, a helicopter comes in. They thought it was medevac. It wasn't medevac. It was another helicopter came in to snatch up the giant, and they were told never talk about it again.
Basically,
that's basically what it was.
But was it described with red hair?
Red hair, yeah. But keep in mind, in Afghanistan, almost everyone that lives there thinks they're a descendant of Alexander the Great, and there's some white Afghans, like gingers, right? So it's very possible, but they're at least from his soldiers. But I wonder if that, well, maybe gingers come from the giants. I don't know, because gingers don't have souls. Giants have souls because they're Nephilim, right? So therefore, vis-a-vis,
ginger are descendants of giants.
Ginger are descendants of Nephilim. Yeah, works for me. I'm getting this light is like
that light is strong.
I wonder. I need like a cloth. Let me see if I can clean this off. See if I can.
Nope.
Nope, didn't help.
Nope, not one bit.
It's a little better.
A little bit.
All right. Let's get into the topic because I'm sure people.
Because it's 36 minutes.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's about on time for us, though. Well, so
now we know Solitarius is a ginger.
Yes, it sure is. So look, it's not that gingers don't have souls. It's that for every freckle a ginger has, that's a soul they've stolen.
What about for those of us that are heavily freckled but are not ginger? Because I don't tan. I generate more freckles.
Oh, that's just melanoma.
Oh, just that, huh?
That's all. You're right. Just
no big deal.
Whatever. Just take some time, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the topic. I've got a bunch of links.
Hope Mod, I need you to block this woman here, please. Okay. So which one you want? Which one are we doing first?
Let me pull up my notes real quick. Let's see. All right, let's pull up the first one. We're going to go in order. I did it specifically like that. We'll pull up the first one.
Did you want
so
to?
This is so for those of y'all don't know, there are people that go out and take down these flock cameras, and they call themselves Blade Runners, right? And so this is what I imagine they're like. What's the song that's playing in their mind as they're going out and taking down these flock cameras?
Okay, hold on. I got to let the whole thing play. It's Instagram, so I can't.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me play it through to the starting point again.
So flock cameras are basically a private surveillance system that they find a loophole of being able to surveil you. And the reason is the government's not doing it because the government's not putting up the cameras. They're just buying the information from flock. Right? There's flock cameras everywhere. And I'm going to show you here in a minute a map of all flock cameras so you can see how ubiquitous they are. But they're everywhere. We even have them in my little small town of 7,000 people. They've even got them in Talladega National Forest where there are no cars.
We have one between our town of 1,500 people and the next town over that has 300 people. There's one on a little county highway in the middle of nowhere for some reason.
So, yeah.
Here we go, though. Yeah, right.
we would never be able to show that. If y'all know who that is, that's Flock of Seagulls with And I Run. So I was looking up flock camera videos, and that came up. I was like, we got to play this. Those of y'all that are not old enough to know that song, that came out in the 80s.
I was born 6 years after that song.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the song, but I like.
5.
I'm like, why did he choose this one? I didn't realize it's Flock of
Did
Seagulls.
did you ever see Wedding Singer with Adam Sandler? And he
No.
goes to the so Adam it's based in the 80s, and he goes to the airport and he's gonna take a flight somewhere, and the guy has his hair like the flock of seagulls, right? He's like, "So, do you like flock of seagulls?" And the guy's like, "Who? What?" He's like, "Oh, never mind." Quoting movies it was memes before there were memes. Like a lot of the old
the
old Will Ferrell movies, that was memes before we had memes. It was just quoting all these old movies.
Yeah, like as a teenager, me and my friend, like it would just be movie quote after movie quote, just throwing back at each other back and forth.
Yeah, all day. Like I'll go hang out with some of these kids at church, and it's like super hot. Like I'm out there, I've got my suit on, right, and I've got my tie and everything, and I'm just sweating through it when we're out. It's after mass, so we're just hanging around and talking. I'm like, oh, it's so hot. Milk was a bad choice. None of them get that. None of them. Like, why did you drink milk? Like, come on, man. So anyway, flock cameras. I mean, they're everywhere.
I imagine everyone currently watching knows what they are, but we might want to just what they are.
So Flock was originally a venture capital seeded project by Peter Thiel and his what was that group that he funded JD Vance with? I can't remember. Anyway, so he funded Flock originally. And the purpose of it was license plate readers, right? So if y'all have ever seen like a state police car and they got like 12 contraptions surrounding the outside of their car, their purpose is they drive around and just read license plates to pick up warrants. Like if they catch a warrant license plate, somebody who has a warrant, they know, hey, we're going to hit that house later, right? Well, now it's turned into they have cameras everywhere, right? Down, especially in major urban areas, they're everywhere. Out in the more rural areas, it's major intersections they usually have them at. But the purpose of the Flock camera is to basically track your license plate and to sell your data, and sell like your routes and everything for advertising, for police purposes, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what has happened is a lot of municipalities have bought access to Flock cameras to be able to use for police matters. So the police aren't surveilling you, so they get around the Fourth Amendment that way. They're just paying for the information that's surveilling you.
So, for instance, the license plate readers on police vehicles can only be used to track people with warrants.
Originally, yes.
But now, because like you said, this is being done by a private company,
mm-hmm.
and police are simply buying publicly available data, mm-hmm. that they do not need warrants for this sort of stuff any longer.
When it was the state troopers and their cars driving around, there were some municipalities that made it illegal to back up into your driveway because they had to be able to read your plate as they drove by your house. So you're not allowed to back up and have your ass in towards the garage or anything, right? So now it's just become a matter of just selling more of your information. So, for example, like for those of y'all that have Gmail, right? You're like, well, Gmail's great, right? It gives you all this storage and you don't have to pay anything for it. Well, that's because the email is not the product. You're the product. What you're having sent to your email, they're scraping that data and selling your data so advertisers can advertise to you more. They sell it to governments based on what your communications are and everything. So you have become the product at this point because that's why it's free. Anything that's free in the data world now, the technology world, now makes you the product, and what you do and your habits are now what they're selling.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have Life 360 and you don't pay for it, they're just selling the same thing Flock does. You're just purposely choosing to give that information over to them for free so that you can track where your wife goes and she doesn't go to TJ Maxx too much. Right? But the flock is it's starting to evolve. So let's pull up that first link first, so we can, because it goes over a general synopsis of flock and what they do, because it has become a billion-dollar enterprise at this point. It's a massive company that's working in cahoots. I got to use that word with Palantir.
Yeah. I'm going to bring this up, and then I'm going to, while you read it, I'm going to run to the bathroom.
All right, I'll read it.
Because I drank a lot of fluid. Not alcohol, though, Hope.
He's going to after game. I'm not going to be able to scroll down. I don't know why you did that. All right. So I wonder if I can take it over. I wonder if it'll let me. No. All right. So I'll read it from my end. So pull it up real quick. All right. Security researcher Ben Jordan reveals that flock cameras are secretly creating a GPS tracker for every car in America, and it's already live. This is extremely concerning, Wall Street Ape says. Flock's license plate readers take a time-stamped photo of every vehicle that passes every camera. Police can search your historical travel information for 30 days. This creates a searchable database of everyone, not just the suspects of a crime. It's like if you were to build a graph of that sheet and plot it to a map. Now it's if you had GPS in your car for the entire month. In order for the historical data to be investigated value, you have to have it track every car. Flock owns training videos that says they aren't tracking license plates. They're tracking people. But Flock's own webinars talk about his license plate reader's ability. So one thing we found is not only is Flock tracking license plate readers, but it's tracking your car individually. It's taking note of dents and scratches and bumper stickers and things of that sort to identify your car, even if they can't see the license plate.
What's up?
Man, I'll just explain Flock.
Okay.
That's all it was. How was your poop?
It was not bad.
It was quick. It was a little drop and run, little tea in the harbor. All right. So I already went over all that. Okay. So Flock is basically being marketed to police departments as a way to, as another tool for them to be able to track people who commit crimes.
Yeah.
Right? Where this comes in handy is for a lot of these takeovers that the urban youths like to do, where they'll take over an intersection, so they'll be able to track every car that was involved and know exactly who, and then they'll just serve warrants, right? Or there's hit and runs or whatever, right? So there legitimately could be uses for it. The issue that comes in is the fact that it tracks you over distance for up to 30 days, right? So, and not only they're not just taking pictures of your license plate, they're taking pictures of you. There's a story of a woman who is having to pay a $1,200 ticket because Flock took a picture of her with her phone in her lap, right? It wasn't even face up, it was face down. And because her phone was visible to where they could see it, and it looked like she was using it, they're charging her a $1,200 ticket. There's another story of a woman who was, I don't remember the states, but she was basically given a ticket in another state for something she didn't do because Flock misidentified her and thought she was someone else. And she ended up serving like 2 or 3 weeks in jail for it, even though she had never been to that state. Right. So, and what we've also found is those of you all who watch TJ Morris, he's got the inside scoop and a lot of stuff. We don't have enough bandwidth for these Flock cameras to take accurate pictures of things. So AI has to basically recreate what it thinks it is.
Yeah.
Which is causing a lot of issues. People are being arrested for things they never did. People are receiving tickets for things that they were nowhere near. People are being accused of being in areas that they were never been. So it's kind of like when you go into like Photoshop and you have it like touch up your photo, right? And all of a sudden you come out and you went from having brown eyes to green eyes because that's just the way it thought the light was hitting your eyes, thought you had green eyes, right? It's doing the same thing. AI is having to basically super trooper it up, like enhance, to get your pictures to look better. And it's not correct. Like once AI has to alter a photo, it is no longer admissible in court. Right? What this goes back to is colonial times. Actually, y'all didn't know this. I'm gonna learn y'all something. So back in colonial times, glass was not as clear as it is today. It was very blurry, right? It's like that subway tile, like those squares. You can't see it through it because it's like a double pane, right? And so if you were to see someone commit a crime through glass, it was inadmissible in trial because it was unreliable. You couldn't tell who it was. It's the same, and it goes back to that AI. If it has to alter the image at all to identify anything, it is not admissible in court because the image is altered. Recently, what that's come about with is with the Charlie Kirk shooting, Tyler Robinson. They used AI to enhance the picture of Tyler Robinson taking the shot, which is why they weren't allowed to use it originally in court. So then they had to resubmit it, and it's super blurry. You can't tell anything anyway, right? So the issue with Flock is not so much what it does, is we don't have the bandwidth for it to do what they want it to do, which is why they're pushing fiber internet everywhere. Like we've got it out here in the boondocks where I'm at. I'm on fiber internet right now.
Yep, me too.
And that's the reason they're doing it, because they're building the surveillance network on us. That's what these AI data centers are, right? They are building the surveillance data network and having us pay for it. Like, hey, go into Grok and create this meme, right? Pay 20 tokens and make a video before avoiding Babylon, right? You are paying to create the fence around you by using a lot of this AI. The good thing is AI is not being used as much as they thought it was going to be, and it's about to crash. Bad thing is that means the whole market's crashing. Whole market's coming down, which doesn't bode well for those of us in the finance market. That's just to give you a quick primer on Flock. The next link is a video of the Blade Runners. So this started in England. England was rolling out Flock before we did. And they had guys going around and they were destroying Flock, right? They were either using a Sawzall to cut it down, or they were knocking it down, or they're climbing the pole and putting a trash bag over it or whatever. So this is, I think, in Houston. Houston's been hitting it hard. Not only is the right, side not liking Flock, but Antifa hates Flock too, and they're cutting them down as well. This is a bipartisan issue that we are both happy to join hands and take this thing down. So this is just a video of some of these guys taking this stuff down. You can go play it.
Oh my God, the storm in Avon is severe. They're falling over. He did try and help that one though. Oh my God, another one. He's trying to hold it. Oops. And another one. He's oh my God, terrible. Oh my God, this storm is taking its toll. Oh, yeah, please do not do this. And you fucking done this. This is terrible. But yeah, it looks like they've gone straight through the dotted line on this one. So honestly, this is terrible. But yeah, it's on the deck. We'll check it out. We think it has got a painted screen. So yeah, this ain't getting nothing. And yeah, we'll check. Oh look, that's them locks. Look, so then them special funny keys. So yeah, they're designed so you cannot remove this. So yeah, we'll just have a look though. But yeah, this one's been brutal. So it's had someone stole the plate on it. Yeah, the plate was cut on it. But yeah, look that fracture straight through that. I thought it was full stops, but obviously it looks like a cut line. So yeah, box burnt. I mean, this one suffered really, really, really bad. But it looks like it's chomped the tree as it's gone down. But yeah, hopefully it hasn't damaged the tree. That gives us clean air.
He's worried about the tree. He didn't hurt the tree, did he? It gives us clean air. So this is happening everywhere. Like there's hundreds of them coming down almost every day at this point across the United States. Now there's millions of them out there, so it's going to take a while to get them all down.
Yeah,
but it's happening right now. It's happening everywhere. Houston's had a real big spotlight on it the past couple of days. So the next link is going over how it's not just a license plate reader. So we'll pull that up real quick. So the issues with a license plate reader is legally speaking, driving is not a right, it's a privilege, right? Which is your driver's license. You are agreeing to certain things when you get a driver's license. Where the Fourth Amendment comes in, like, any of our attorneys in here who want to correct me in the chat, please do. I don't want to give incorrect information if I don't have to, but as I understand it, there are some Fourth Amendment privileges that apply when it comes to your vehicle. Not in every state. Some states have ruled that you don't have any Fourth Amendment rights in your vehicle. But when you drive on roads, you don't have any expectation of privacy when it comes to your license plate, right? Because your license plate is basically your serial, your social security number for your car, and it's allowed them to identify you wherever you're at. So anytime you go through, in fact, where the first places they put flock was at way stations for semis. When semis came through, that was the first place so they could identify vehicles and trucks that came through, and they would contrast them from the license plate to the physical attributes of the truck. So as y'all remember earlier when I was talking about how they'll identify like scrapes and dents and stuff on your vehicle. If you come through one flock and you have a different license plate the next time and you're carrying a semi trailer, like that was the intended purpose originally, which can be good, especially with a lot of the immigrant truck drivers we have now who don't really have licenses, who are deciding to U-turn in the middle of the highway and kills a family of 4. That's a good use of it. But the problem is when you give the government a capability, they love to see how much they can strangle you with it. So this next one is just another post going over the different aspects it's doing. That's not just for license plate reading. So we'll pull that up once Rob has it up. Flock cameras have been put out in the Richland Wildlife Management Area in Florida. You cannot access most of this with a vehicle. This is like walking trails. Location of flock cameras are in miles and miles of Florida wilderness with no neighborhoods or shopping centers, subdivisions, or traffic lights around. Why are they here? Who are they watching? The hunters, people exercising their Second Amendment rights, families who go camping, so forth. How much surveillance are we willing to accept? So Flock also has in the software facial identification. So they can tell you apart from everyone else. And they're tracking you. They're not tracking your vehicle. They're not tracking, people with warrants, none of that. They're tracking you. They're keeping track of where you're going at all times. And we're building these giant data centers to store all this information in. So they can get basically a pattern of life on you.
Yeah.
Like what you're doing every day. I hope he's an attorney. The cops only need probable cause to search a car. It's an exception to the warrant requirement, but probable cause has to be stated, right? And not there to you, but they can't say, "Hey, I thought he had a gun in his car," right?
They got it.
And if they didn't, they have to be able to see something that looks like a gun, right?
Or have a dog hit, right? That's why they run a dog around the car.
Yeah, but the problem with the dogs is they can give a command to a dog to make him simulate a hit whenever they want.
Right.
Right, which is also another, in a lot of states, the dogs are no longer admissible because they can be tricked. Right. My first piece of legal advice: if you're ever pulled over and a cop wants to search your car, shut the hell up. Do not talk. Ask for your attorney. Do not give them permission. Even if you're innocent, even if you have nothing to worry about, do not give them permission. If they search it anyway, right, that's what they call the tainted fruit of the forbidden tree or whatever it's called, right? They likely can't use it. They might be able to, but it's much more likely they won't be able to. But don't say a word. Don't try and help. Don't cooperate. I don't care. Keep your mouth shut. And this is coming from cop friends of mine. Do not talk.
I was going to say cops will be the first ones to tell you that.
Yeah. Like I've got a buddy. He's on the FBI here in Birmingham. Do not talk. say nothing, ask for an attorney. If you have nothing to hide, it doesn't matter. Say nothing. Keep your mouth. Like, I'm trying to say this without cussing, right? But you need to shut the F up. Don't say a word, right? Nothing good will come of you cooperating. You know how many people have been sent to jail for erroneous things because they thought they were cooperating and they thought they had nothing to hide, and cops just find something? You know how many people who are in a self-defense situation who are just trying to cooperate and they end up giving them all the ammunition they need, no pun intended, to send them to jail for a something they should have never been prosecuted for? Just don't talk. Say nothing. Ask for an attorney. Right? Do not give him permission for anything. All right. So I got so many notes, guys. Y'all gonna have to.
He really does.
You got to deal with it. This ain't no avoiding Babylon show. We got notes here. Well, except for when Rob runs it. I'm excited for Rare Navarre.
Hopefully, will be tomorrow.
Hopefully. What's going to change that now?
I mean,
y'all
so
been teasing it for so long. You better do it.
My new truck, it's been in the shop since last Wednesday getting the tailgate fixed. So I might have to drive 2 hours to pick up the truck tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. I'm so sick of vehicles.
I get it. All right. So go to the next one, collecting everything. Because after this, we're going to get into signal trace, which is going to be even worse.
That's the really... Okay.
Yes, exactly. Shut the F up. All right. Police officer becomes a whistleblower and says the flock safety cameras are not what we are being told they are. He says they are not just capturing license plates, they are capturing everything and being used for mass surveillance without a warrant. It records the make, the model, the color, bumper stickers, you name it. It's a very sophisticated AI software that uses a camera system to track and monitor every vehicle that goes by that camera lens. This information is shared city to city and even state to state without a warrant. Your consent was never required nor even asked for, even thought about when your city governments was putting up this. These run-on sentences are killing me.
Yeah, they're not great.
For example, the chief of the Patika Police Department, she was confronted by a local reporter on this very question of what gave them the right to put up these cameras without consulting the public. Her response was, so the criminals wouldn't know about it and avoid detection. So there you go. That's their best argument. Brother concerns. So a lot of this, you're starting to see more and more cities outlaw it. The problem is, Flock doesn't care. They're doing it anyway. Who's going to prosecute them? The state DA? The state DA who's bought by Flock and who's being told by the federal government to allow them to do it? Like, this becomes a force issue, right? A law is only as good as the person who's willing to enact violence to support it.
Yeah.
Or to break it, right? So it doesn't matter what the law is if they know, hey, I can get away with this because someone higher up is going to cover me. There was this municipality in California who, once they found out what Flock was actually doing, and after 4 of their police officers were caught using Flock to stalk exes, and nothing ever happened to them, by the way, they canceled the contract with Flock and told them they had 30 days to remove all the cameras, and Flock was basically giving them the middle finger. We're like, we're not doing it, right? And they've got overhead cover from the federal government. They're not going to, because the federal government wants them to have them up. Let's see. All right, what's the next link? What is it? We're going to get into buses, Flock, and signal trace.
Okay.
So this next one, I'm gonna sit back for a second and enjoy this one. So there was a bill put forward in, I believe, a Midwestern state where they wanted to basically enable school buses. Originally, the purpose was for people, when like you stop at a school bus and the stop sign comes out, you're not supposed to pass them up, right. On either side, unless it's a divided highway with a median. At least that's how it is in our state. Not every state's like that. But anyway, it was to catch those people that run past us, because that's dangerous for kids who are having to cross the road or whatever, right? Well, then it became, hey, while we got that there, why don't we also just have school buses read license plates all the time? Like a state trooper loaded up with the cameras, right? And then it came into, well, while they're doing that, why don't we put signal trace on the buses, and they can basically sniff all these Wi-Fi and Bluetooth of every vehicle that goes by and every house they go by to drop off these kids, right? If y'all are savvy when it comes to tech and all that, sniffing is basically detecting your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth devices. Your Bluetooth devices and your Wi-Fi and anything that basically puts out a signal has a unique identifier per
the MAC address. Yeah.
Right. And so they can tell exactly who's in that car. You may not be in the car that it identifies you with. You may be in a friend's car. Now they've linked you to that friend.
Yep.
Right.
And that's what they need the AI for. To because once they have all these different devices associated with license plates, then they can start to build networks of individuals, see who's associated with who.
In the intel community, we call that a link analysis, right? So if I snatch up a dude, right, and I'm looking at his phone and I see he's got numbers to Haji 1, Haji 2, Haji 3. That's how lucky we are that. Yeah. Did you see the quote by the guy who owns Palantir? He was talking about he's glad his family escaped Germany. Otherwise, his parents would probably be made into lampshades.
Well, Peter Thiel founded Palantir.
Well,
The other guy?
The other guy.
Oh, okay. No, I did not see that.
Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and all those guys started PayPal together.
Yeah.
And then they all kind of branched out from there, which is super suspect. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Oh, anyway. So say when I was in Afghanistan, I Snapchat a guy and I run his cell phone and I look at the number he's called. And I see he's talked to Haji 1, Haji 2, Haji 3.
Yep.
Right. Then I go from there, like, well, what in my other guys I've talked to, who's Haji 1 talked to? Right now I'm creating a web, right, of who's talking to who's linked to who knows who. So that way, if I want to go after Haji 2, who does Haji 1 knows? Because Haji 1 and Haji 2, that might have been the first time they ever met each other, right? Who does Haji 1 know that knows Haji 2? How do I get to them to get to Haji 2? Right? Or where is Haji 2 going where he links up with Haji 1 occasionally? And what is that business? How are they related to Haji 1, Haji 2? Right? So they put a web together of connecting everyone. Like, how does everyone associate with everybody, right? They're creating a link analysis chart in order to connect you with other people. Because then eventually you're going to be guilty by association. You're going to be guilty because you know this guy, and we know this guy's involved in nefarious plots and all this other, maleficent evil doings. So you're guilty by association by knowing him, which is what cancel culture was. Right? They tried to take it off. It didn't. It kind of backfired on them because it was used against them. So they're trying to figure out another way to use it. So that's where all this is coming from. Signal trace is going to be everywhere. It's going to be in airports. It's going to be at bus terminals. It's going to be at schools. It's going to be everywhere. The only way you can protect yourself from that in the future, stop carrying your phone. Right? Which I'm okay with. Like, you mean I don't have to have my phone on me all the time? That'd be great.
It's especially if you're going to be a Blade Runner, leave it at home.
Yeah, exactly. If y'all, there's a company called Silent, SLNT, and they make Faraday bags. If you don't know what a Faraday bag is basically a bag that blocks all RF transmission, any type of transmission, right? I've got, it's not in here. Anyway, so I used to take one into confession with me, right? Because I've had my phone on me, and I couldn't leave it in the car because, my church was in a very bad part of town. And so I would carry a little Faraday envelope. Basically, I put my phone in it, close it up, it's not getting signal in and out. It can't record anything or whatever.
It could
It
theoretically
it could
record
still
sound and then
record.
send it after.
It could still record, but in order to record, it has to receive a signal to record.
True.
And so it couldn't receive that signal. So if I turned the phone off, put it in the Faraday envelope, probably okay, right? This is unclassified information now. It wasn't about 13 years ago. But even if you turn your phone off, your phone's not off.
Right.
Your phone actually has 3 batteries in it, at least. One for the actual phone itself, one for your transmission devices, right? Like your Wi-Fi card and Bluetooth, and one for GPS. GPS cannot be turned off no matter what. And that's a federal law. That's part of the 911 GPS law, which is why we have GPS on phones now, so they can locate you in case something happens, right? So even if your phone is off, they can use the battery from the GPS to power enough things on your phone to still listen to you, even if you had a phone that you could take the battery out. Back in the day when we had flip phones and you want to take your battery out, you're like, oh, my phone can't be used. No, still has a GPS battery in it that can be used to turn on certain functions on your phone and still be listened to. And I bring this up now because it's on class, but 13 years ago it was not.
Mhm.
So I knew this and I couldn't tell anybody. But it's the same thing with signal traces. It's going to be everywhere. They're going to track you everywhere. They create a pattern of life of where you go. Not that it can be used against you now, but in the future, when you're considered an enemy of the state because you believe that there's only 2 genders, that abortion is murder, and there's a God, and we're like, well, this guy looks like a bad guy. He doesn't believe the government's God. So we know exactly where he's going to be on Tuesday of the 17th. We're going to get him and they'll snatch you up. You can't do anything about it because you're going to be in the airport. You're going to check your firearm and they're going to get you when you check your firearm.
No.
But anyway. All right. So that's basically what signal trace is. What's the next one we got after that? We'll skip the next one. We'll skip it. So there's one I have in here. It's a story about how a guy goes into his city council and he's complaining because there's flock cameras, but they're nowhere near the roads, and the cameras are pointed at playgrounds and daycares, which is creepy considering everything
is
about
creepy.
our government and the massive human trafficking operation that it conducts. So we'll skip those.
We could make a compromise here. Forget about the schools, but you can use them at the Smalley Leering centers.
You know what? I accept that. I'll do that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, Vatican's going to use
I'll
it
do
to
that.
track the trads.
That's right.
That's why it's called flock. Make sure you're not
Yeah.
part of the wrong flock.
This won't be used against a single dangerous black person. No, they're a protected class. I don't know if y'all. So it's a side tangent.
We never go into those. What are you doing?
So those of y'all that watch Caleb Hammer and his like financial show,
Yeah.
lately he's been on a tear, like just going after military members who get disability. Right? Like, why is this guy getting $8,400 a month disability from the military and he's still a mechanic or whatever? Right? Well, first of all, $8,400 a month is made up. If you get 100% disability in the military, we need to stop calling it disability. It is not disability. It is like workers' comp almost.
Yeah.
Right. Because what the VA does is they assess the injuries you have occurred in the military and how it's going to affect the rest of your life because you served, and they compensate you for that. That's what VA disability is. So in order to get 100% disability, well, if you get 100%, that's about $4,000 a month, right? And then you get a little bit more for every kid you have that's under the age of 16. It's about $150, $180 extra per month for every kid under the age of 16. The issue with the fraud and what we're going to find with VA disability is a majority of the people who are given disability are of two particular demographics: women and minorities. Right? They were just basically given
Blanket
disability without having to prove anything. Right? The guys who have to fight tooth and nail to get it and never get it are the guys who actually saw combat. Right? For instance, Hillbilly Things on X,
Yeah.
her husband, the
JD.
JD Ever Forge, whatever his name
Yeah.
is. I've been trying to help him with his issue, okay, because that dude fell out of a plane pretty much and hurt his back, and he cannot get disability. Like, he has a hard time standing for long periods of time. Right? Same
Which
issue I have.
sucks because the man hand forges knives and axes.
Yeah. And that's what he has to do in order to provide a living for his family.
Right.
But that's a guy who has been denied over and over and over and over and cannot get the disability that's due to him, right? Because he's a white male who has actually done his job.
Right.
In order to favor it, basically what VA disability has become is a welfare and bribing system to prop up minorities and women. I can't tell the number of guys I know that I served with who saw some horrific crap, just like absolute hellacious things they'll never be able to get out of their head.
Mhm.
They have PTSD from it, and they're scared to go get treated for PTSD because this was back during the time of red flag laws were real big. It's kind of died down since then, but they were scared of losing their hunting ability.
That's right.
Right? Because they're going to take their firearms away. And they were scared of the stigma of PTSD and not being able to get hired. So they're walking around untreated with the PTSD, and then within usually 5 or 6 years after that, they take their own life. Right? And the other side of it is that the guys who have this massive PTSD and they want to get help for it, and they're just shoving drugs down their throat.
Right.
And just giving them every cocktail out there to try to numb it. Right? And not getting them actual help. There is a group of veterans, and they're mostly Marines, who has found a way to deal with PTSD without pharmaceuticals, and you'll never guess how they're doing it.
Is it?
It's entirely relatable to us.
What? Prayer?
They became Catholic and went to confession. And like their PTSD goes away within months.
Really?
Of just talking to someone and getting all this stuff. Like their general confession, every time they talk about it, is like them and the priest are crying, going through the stuff they've seen and things they've been through because it's so emotional. But within months after that, the PTSD is gone.
Wow.
No ayahuasca, no DMT, right? No acid trips, which goes back to prove the power of the sacraments.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So these men are trying to go to all these VA clinics. Knickknacks. Hey, nicotine is good for a lot of stuff. But they're going to the VA clinics and just spreading the gospel because it helped them so much. These are guys who, for instance, I've got a story of one guy who put a gun in his mouth every day for 3 years. And then finally, I think his brother talked him into, like, man, just go talk to the priest. Come with me, come to mass, talk to the priest. And he didn't want to go. He didn't really believe in God. He went and he's like, fine, I'll go with you. It was a Novus Ordo, right? So just for those of y'all that don't think the Novus Ordo is valid, this disproves that. But he went to the Novus Ordo Mass, talked to the priest, pretty Orthodox priest. But like everybody, he's been steeped in martyrdom his entire life. But talks to the priest. And this guy had been raised Catholic and just kind of strayed. Decides to have a general confession. And since that general confession, he's never even looked at the gun again.
Wow.
So I know we went off a huge tangent on VA disability and all that, but
How did we get on that, by the way?
I don't remember. It came up with mine from earlier when I made a comment about it on X, but with Flock and Signal Trace, they're going to target the people that do not treat the government as a religion.
Yeah.
Right. And those are going to be your first target. So like when I joke about like I'm probably on like 5 or 6 lists. At this point, if you're not at least on one list, like what are you doing? Like, are you not standing up for anything? Like if you don't have any enemies, you've never stood up for anything. Right. So get on the list. But that's exactly what they're going to use these means for. They're going to come after people who do not agree with everything the government does, and they're going to try and blackmail you at first to get you to fall in step. And if you can't be blackmailed or you won't be blackmailed, then they're just going to put the boot on you. They're going to make, and it may not be prison. It may be, hey, your card doesn't work every time you use it, unexplainably, right?
Mhm.
It makes things super awkward, right? So then you have to start carrying cash, right? And then you're having to carry this cash, and all of a sudden, you start getting robbed once a week because some guy gets made aware through an anonymous email that you're going to be coming to an area, and you're probably carrying cash on you. Ocean, you're on every list because you're black. In fact, we had to create new lists for black people.
Maybe we were called Never Mind. Never mind. Not gonna go there.
All right. So let's get into. First, I'm gonna show you something else real quick.
Do we want to show the map?
Yeah, that's what I actually was doing right now. I've got it pulled up. So this is. Let me share it real quick. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. All right. So this is a map of every flock camera. It's probably 99%, probably not all of them.
Right.
Probably 99%. So I'm gonna zoom y'all in.
Okay, guys,
Birmingham.
prepare to screenshot.
I'm not taking you to my house. I'm taking you to Birmingham. This is Birmingham. See all these dots? You can't even see the word Birmingham here because it's so bad. Let's zoom in. All right. Let me exile that. All right. So this is downtown, right? This is a very affluent area. This is 280. Right? This is a main thoroughfare going from Birmingham basically down to Auburn. Anything west of the letter M is mostly black. Right, mostly black people. West of 65 in Birmingham is like where all the bad crime is, right? So my parish obviously is right here.
So where there's no cameras?
In fact, we might not have a camera by my parish. Let's see. Let's see, that's Red Mountain Park. Hold on, I'll find it. Right there. Yep, right here.
So the cameras that
My
are
parish.
supposedly there for crime
Are not where all the
are
crimes
not
That's
in
correct.
areas with crime.
Correct. That is correct. Now it's going to be on major intersections, right? But this is just the amount of cameras. So you can see things like, who is made by, the zone is traffic. It's in a street. It's on a street lamp. What its coordinates is. Let's view
A lot of them
I'll
will
show you
even
exactly where
show
it's at.
the orientation of the camera, right?
Yep. So you can see which ways, or so if someone were to, come up behind it, so they couldn't be seen, you can do things like that. So that's and that's just Birmingham, right? Let's see. This is Tuscaloosa. This is where the University of Alabama's at, which they got a bunch of criminals over there anyway. Then there probably 3/4 of them are on the football team. But this is just Tuscaloosa. This is a college town. And this is how many there are everywhere, right? And I want to show y'all something else. Like you can use deflock, and it's free, but I use a thing called ATOC. Let me share that with y'all so you can see what it is. Let's stop that other one. There we go. All right. So ATalk is basically a software website to where you can coordinate with your boys, right? Dirty Civilian had a video about it. If y'all want to see more about it, you can watch it. But it shows every camera, right? So the same cameras available here, and it'll tell you down to the street where it's at, right? So I can see, okay, there's one here at 24th Street South and University Boulevard. This is Stanford is on this. There's one right here on the corner of this building, right? See exactly where it's at. But it'll let you, because I can pull this up on my phone, this app on my phone, and see where things are located. So if I were wanting to not be seen doing something, I would know where the cameras are. What this website is being used for now is for Blade Runners. They're using it to take down these flock cameras, which, you know, if I were on a jury of a guy who took down a flock camera, that jury is probably going to be nullified because I'm not going to convict no matter what. You know, but they don't let smart people on juries, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, ATAC has overlays too. I don't like ATAC. Mostly ATAC is used on cell phones. You know, you'll have a little flip down on a plate carrier or a chest rig. I don't like having anything that emits any type of frequencies on me, because I don't know if y'all watched the war in Ukraine, but that's a quick way to get dead. But so I haven't even bothered getting into it. Let's see. Enhance. All right, so I'll pull up this last one. So this last one is where we get really dystopian. This is what happens if they take down all the flock, right? What happens if all the cameras come down? Where then they're done. Like, we don't have to worry about it anymore. No. Next, we have Axon. So Axon, where is it? That's not it. There we go. Make it a little bigger. All right. A company called Axon is creating a surveillance camera that can turn every street light in America into a system like Flock. Basically, they don't have to mount its own thing. They can just put it on streetlights, and it'll plug straight into the light. And it comes with signal trace already installed. So it does everything all at once. And they can just put it into a street light, and you'd have to start cutting down street lights in order to get rid of these things. And that's basically, so they've foresaw this problem back in 2025, mid 2025. And so they started developing this to start putting this on just straight light posts everywhere, down highways, with the street lights and everything. So that's where this is developing. Where does it go from there? Well, I think from there, it probably goes to chained persistent drones, right? A drone who just floats over a intersection for 4 or 5 hours, battery starts to drain, it goes down and docks somewhere, and another drone comes up to replace it. It does it for another 4 or 5 hours, right? Can't cut down a drone.
True.
You can shoot it, right? But then they got the gunshot tracers everywhere, and they'll find out exactly where you're at and come snatch you up. This is going to constantly evolve. Their surveillance is coming. It's just a matter of how accepting we are of it and what we're going to do about it. Because eventually it's going to come down to, like, are you willing to go to jail for this?
Why would I'm trying to think, in a rural area, why would you cut one down instead of just shoot it? A rural area, you probably like, why not? But
the reason you cut it down is because you want to harvest the gold, the silver, and the copper out of it.
Yeah, but I don't really want to.
You don't. Meth heads do, though.
True.
Right.
So we're framing the methods.
Every flock camera has $300 worth of gold, silver, and copper in it. So yes, meth heads, it's time to earn your keep. We kept you around for long enough. It's time for you to start eating. Earn your salary.
I mean, you're looking for something to do at 3 a.m. anyways.
You might as well. I mean, if they just throw you in jail, well, you're just gonna get 3 hots in a cot. You'll be all right for a little bit. Then you get out, go do it again.
Adrian just sold Ocean on crime.
All right. So now that y'all are blackpilled, what are y'all thinking?
Good question.
Look, I am of the opinion, and I've said this before on the show. I think that Our Lady of Akita, talking about fire from the sky, is not nuclear weapons. I think it is a coronal mass ejection, because I think that is the only way to correct the route we're on right now. Nuclear war is going to do nothing but kill a bunch of people and pollute, 1/25th of the world.
Yeah.
Right. A coronal mass ejection sets everyone back to colonial times. A coronal mass ejection that covers the entire world and burns up all the technology is the only thing that's going to save us from technology, because we cannot obviously restrain ourselves to not use it.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
So when I sing the song "Lord, Send Us Thy Asteroid," it is not ironic.
Well, I mean, you don't want an asteroid.
Look, it just needs to hit like Utah. Like, get rid of all the Mormons.
It would
Give us,
solve that
like-
problem.
Give us 365 days of night, right? Those of us who have prepared
For the vampires to win, Adrian, is that what you want?
I didn't even think of that. I'm so dumb.
I mean, you were clearly team Edward, huh? Clearly.
No, I've always been Team Jacob. Always. It's a running joke in my house. The kids, like, every time they snuggle up, they're like, "Dad, you're so hot." I'm like, I'm part werewolf. Of course I'm hot. I always run hot.
Gross.
And let everybody stew and all the information we just gave them about Flock and Skynet. Here's a good thing. Like, first of all, don't despair. Second of all, the easiest thing you can do is, so first of all, there are countermeasures to deal with Flock, right? So what I'm telling you not to do is, if you like, I would tell you absolutely do not get a Rust-Oleum clear coat paint that has flex in it that will distract infrared cameras from being able to take pictures of your license plate. Don't do that, because we need Flock to do its job. I would also say do not get a 5 milliwatt green laser to shine into the Flock cameras to permanently destroy them. Because we need Flock to do its job.
From what I've seen, it needs to be higher than 5, which is unfortunate.
All you're trying to do is burn the sensor out. You're not actually trying to physically damage it. You're just trying to overload the sensor with too much light.
Right, but with a
Right.
5, you got to have that thing like on a tripod, aimed exactly right for like 10 minutes straight.
What's 10 minutes of 24 hours? It's nothing. It's dropping the bucket.
It's just unfortunate that it just randomly happens to be somewhat protected against all lasers that are commercially available.
I wonder if it would work better if you taped a flare in front of it. Because that's like persistent light source that would have to burn out that. Like, it wouldn't burn the actual unit,
Right.
but it would probably overload the sensor and damage it.
What about white phosphorus?
Look, do you know what white phosphor does to the human body?
No, but the Israelis do.
And so the Ukrainians. I mean, I guess you could, yeah, or even magnesium,
Thermite.
yeah,
Just burn it.
yeah. So there are things that can be done, but the easiest thing you can do, stop carrying your phone everywhere if you don't want it tracking you, right? But then you have to have a good reason for not carrying your phone because they're gonna notice. Right? You have a good reason for not carrying it. Like I don't want to carry my phone now. If I didn't need it for my job, I wouldn't have an iPhone. Like I would have like a Nextel, that's all I'd have. My stupid job requires me to have access to a smartphone. But or buy a car that doesn't have GPS in it.
Yeah.
Like we have a 2019 Honda Odyssey, and it's like pre-Tesla auto drive basically. Like I could put it on cruise and put it in lane keep, and like it'll drive 100 miles without me touching the steering wheel. Right, if I'm going on a long trip, but it has access to the internet and it constantly gets over the road updates, and the CIA is eventually going to run me into a ditch and kill me.
Yes.
Sure. But they won't do that
Undoubtedly.
they won't do that in my 1988 Dodge Ram I'm looking at getting. Ain't no GPS in that bad boy. I'm getting 4 miles to the gallon, but can't run me off the road with the computers. Skynet.
I bet that truck has a tailgate with a physical latch that won't break.
Does your tailgate have a step in it? Like a
No,
little step that comes out?
no, but you know what? It also doesn't have a physical latch. It just has a button.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like you need a fail safe in case like the button doesn't work. Like how do you open it?
Well, apparently you can take the 10 screws out of the back panel, then actuate the latch from the inside. Unless you put a tonneau cover and the tonneau cover is closed and latched.
Golly, man. That's the problem with like all these new vehicles, man. Like everything's just electronic. There's no mechanical levers whatsoever, which is it causes more. Like my farm truck's an '08 Nissan Titan, and it doesn't look great, but like I've never had an issue with it. I'll just change the oil, and get new tires, new brakes, and stuff. That's about it. Like all your average maintenance stuff. Never had an issue with it whatsoever. But I see guys like my father-in-law. He has a Ford F-150 Tremor or something, and there's like everything's a button, everything in that thing, and things are constantly going out in this thing, and that would drive me nuts. Like if I could buy a truck that still had the rollers for the windows, right? Had a radio, like a straight radio, not like a CarPlay radio, just like a straight radio,
Right.
right? It was a manual, man. I would love that, but they don't make them anymore. Can't get them like that anymore.
It's crazy.
It's all on purpose too, man. That's what Cash for Clunkers was.
Yeah.
Get rid of all these old, reliable, used vehicles to force people into newer vehicles to eventually get to the point where you buy a Ford F-150 now, and if it thinks you're drunk, it'll pull you over and stop the car and call the police on you.
As long, I just hope it's. What is its definition of drunk?
Are we talking Bourbon Street, New Orleans drunk? Or are we talking just I had a couple because I had a hard day? What are we talking about here? I don't know. Like it checks your like pupil dilation, right? It checks your mannerisms, the slurring of your words, and all that. Well, like I can't remember the name of it. It's like the Ford Blue Force, Blue something.
Yeah, if they did that in my area. Ain't no one drive. If they did that in Wisconsin, Wisconsin's economic activity would drop to zero instantly.
Look, all Wisconsin is a society of functional drunks.
Not even that functional, to be quite honest.
I've got a buddy. He's a sheriff's deputy in Waukesha, and he doesn't drink anymore. But man, when he drank, it was golly. I've never seen a guy of 165 pounds put down 165 quarts of beer before, but he can put it down, man.
And that's just your average Tuesday in Wisconsin.
It is, man. Look, I don't know what it. I guess it's because it's cold. Y'all have like nothing else. They have nothing else to do. So like, we'll just drink all the time. Man, that would drive me nuts. That's an expensive habit. All right. We got any good comments? I just blackpilled everybody, and everybody's, going through depression right now.
Yeah, you and Anthony are good at the black pill.
Man, I just it's come up, and I was talking to somebody, and they had no idea about it. I'm like, you don't know what flock cameras are? He's like, no, man. Like, and I forget that if you're not on X, like, you're not aware of the craziness that's going on.
Yeah, it's very true, man.
At all. Like, even when it comes to our faith with the church, if you're not on X, you don't know what the SSPX is and what's everything going on with them. That's why you have these people coming on like, well, the SSPX, they're all excommunicated, even the laity are. I'm like, bro, it takes 3 minutes of research to figure out that's wrong. You couldn't even put 3 minutes into it.
The average person can't know.
And it's not that they can't; they won't.
They won't.
Like, they just want to do what they're told. It's so much easier. Just, hey, my priest said they're excommunicated, so they're excommunicated. Well, your priest's a dumbass, right? If your priest of anybody should be the one putting in the 3 minutes to research it.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of people, like, I was getting a conversation with this one woman, and then I find out she's a big fan of Father Casey. I'm like, oh, that's why you're the way you are. Okay. Got it. So then, like, I know how to talk to her. I was like, all right, well, you're not somebody serious. So,
right.
This is not worth getting to an argument about. But if you're not on social media of some site, and even so, like, even on like X, we can contain ourselves in our own bubbles.
Oh,
right. I was having this conversation with my wife Saturday. We got back from confession and took the whole family to confession. We went to EWT, and they have confession every day. And got back, and we were talking about some stuff, and I was talking about since I've been on TRT, I've had an issue with custody of eyes much more, right? So I've had to like really be conscious of that. And when I was talking to her about that, I was like, I'm on social media. The only things I really look at, because she's like, well, you got to get off Instagram, because Instagram can be bad. Like, if you even like graze the sexual side of Instagram, it'll throw it at you for months. Right.
Don't worry. I understand my mission. I will send you more racist memes.
Go for it.
Hold on. Are you a Warhammer 40K guy?
I mean, I
you're about
not
to,
really,
worry,
but I like. I mean, it looks fun.
It looks fun.
It looks fun. Like, whether you're doing like the books or the actual, painting of the figurines or the whatever, like, it looks cool. I mean, I just don't have time or the inclination to get into it.
Yeah.
But I'm basically social media. All it is like, for me, it's just like Catholic stuff or GunTube. That's it. Right. So I don't really see anything on social media. The issue is when I'm driving down the road and there's a billboard, right? That shows things that I don't want my kids to see. Yeah. Right. Or I'm at the gym, and for whatever reason, women like to come in there dressed like women of the night, right? And so, like, I have to work out with my hat pulled down in front of my eyes, or a hoodie in front of my eyes, or whatever, right?
Back to emo Adrian.
But we were having that conversation, and she was like, "Well, you gotta get off Instagram." I'm like, Instagram's not the issue. Like, all my Instagram is racism, gender, not really gender reveals, but like, I get locked into the people finding out they're pregnant after not being able to have kids for like 10 years type of thing. And like, man, it sends you one, all of a sudden you got 10 of them. Yep. But that, like, that's it, right? But it's an issue. We can be in our bubbles and never get out of them and not really be aware of other things going on in the world. Like I had no idea Taylor Swift got married. Like it was like an MSN article that came up. I was like, dude, she found somebody to put up with her? That's crazy. I hope that prenup was good. What is Adrian's already the Southern Anthony review guys been? The funny thing is Anthony can't really stand me. He doesn't like to talk to me very much. I think because we butt head too much.
Why? What makes you think that?
He will not hold a conversation with me at all. Like I'll text him and we'll go back like once or twice and then like he's done.
He
Right.
he has so many people messaging him.
But I'll text you and we'll go back for a little bit, right? And like
yeah.
It's just and like it's just the nature of the conversations. And that's fine. Like I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm okay with that. But
they're two sides of the same coin, but with they're also very different too. It's
my side of the coin is more of a Dixie flag.
yeah.
His is more of a martini.
Yes. Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wedding
The
trash
male
bags?
Bree Solstad. First of all, I'm not a hooer. But second of all,
Anthony is the male Brees Olsen.
I
Clearly.
don't rage bait for no reason. I love someone who deep. Did you?
Oh, you do see the yeah, but so does Adrian, but in a different way.
Did I ever tell you all that story when I was coming back from patrol and I thought I smelled Burger King?
No.
Never tell that story. So this is my first deployment. I was in Afghanistan. We had just taken over Marja, and I was on an outer base of the town, and we had just done like an 8-kilometer movement out to go interact with locals and come back. And as we were out, we got word that an IED had gone off between our base and the route we took. They just knew it blew up somewhere in the distance. They had like, it wasn't us, so it wasn't the Marines. Somebody else had hit an IED. And so when we usually went out,
I think I know where this is going.
We usually went out real early in the morning. So we would leave like right as the sun was good because it got hot, man. And you've got this plate carrier on, you're carrying a firearm, your rifle, and you're carrying like an extra 50 pounds, and your pockets are full of water bottles, and you can't drink enough water. And so we would always leave early when we would go out. So we wouldn't eat before we left. So by the time we come back, we knew they were going to have like a late breakfast or an early lunch for us when we got back. And it was never good food. It was always like mass-produced MREs, which are called tray rats. So like the powdered eggs, they just reconstituted with water and shook it up and cooked it real quick, whatever. But so anyway, we go out and we got word that they were supposed to be giving us like steak and lobster that night. And steak and lobster, when you're on deployment, usually means you're about to do some really shady stuff that night or the day after. And they're basically just like trying to butter you up to get you ready to go deuce it. So we had gotten word that we might be getting some steak and lobster that night. So we're like, we're about to go do some crazy stuff when we get back. So we're coming back. And as we're getting within like 100, 200 meters of the base, I'm like, did they bring us Burger King? Because we had a Burger King at Leatherneck. And so occasionally like they would bring some to us and we could smell it, man. It smelled phenomenal. I was like, man, it smells like Burger King. What is going on? And so we're getting there closer and everybody's getting super hungry. And like, we just been drinking water the whole time. Like, you can't just drink water. Like, you've got to have Gatorade too, because if you just drink water, your electrolytes will deplete. If you're not drinking enough salt and stuff, you'll DFO.
Yeah.
So we get within 100 meters and I'm like, man, it smells phenomenal. They got some type of meat cooking. We get in the base and we download, right? We get all our gear off. We're putting our firearms down. We're, removing the rounds out of our rifle because you have to be conditioned for when you're in there. And So we're asking, like, where's the Burger King? This smells phenomenal. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? What Burger King? Like, we smell meat. Like, we're walking back. Is it steak, lobster? What's going on? We smell something. Like, we're not cooking any meat. What are you talking about? Like, we can smell it coming up here. Like, we're not cooking anything. We didn't know y'all were coming in. We didn't have the cook couldn't get out there and cook good time. Like, we smelled like somebody's cooking something. Nobody was cooking anything. The IED that went off was some Hajis ran over an IED and they blew up and they burned alive in their vehicle. We smelled burning flesh and it smelled delicious.
And with that, we should probably end the show.
Oh. Whatever happened to the Latin Slavs?
I think they realized doing this was a lot of work.
That's why you gotta have fun. Like, you can't come on here and just rant all the time. You gotta come on and have fun.
Yep.
Especially if you're not getting paid for it.
And we're not.
No, we're definitely not getting paid for it. But I don't need the money either.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Shrimp. Shrimp. He was waiting an hour and a half for that call back.
They don't have corn over there. They're all grass fed, apparently.
Majority said his job got in the way.
My paycheck. I'm married now. Afghans are not Arabs. That is true. Afghans are like the Appalachian hill people of the Middle East.
And there's even like 4 different types of them.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, especially when you get into like, you've got
There's what the Hazari, the Pashtun.
the Hazaris. The Hazaris are Asian
Yeah.
Arabs, pretty much. They got slanted eyes. You got the Pashtun, which are closer to Pakistan. Well, you got the
You have Persians, of course. So
yeah, you got the Persians that speak the Farsi. You got the they're along the Uzbeks, along the border with Uzbekistan. The Hazaris are mostly along the border of Kyrgyzstan. There's another. What's the fourth one? I can't remember. But we didn't see. So in Afghanistan, the Afghan National Police, they would not let you be a police officer where you're from. They would ship you somewhere else because you could not be reliably.
Pashtuns, Tajiks, Hazaris,
Tajiks,
and
that's what it
Uzbeks.
was. Yeah. You were not expected to be able to be responsibly a police officer in an area you're from because you would give favor to the people of your clan, pretty much. So they would ship you somewhere else. Like the Hazaras would go where like the Tajiks are from, right? The Pashtuns would go where the Uzbeks are from, and vice versa. And it worked. Like that was the only way we could get Afghans to police Afghans.
Interesting.
So his wife knew about his humor. Everybody's easily doxable. Yeah, isn't Anthony's joining the fire department? I thought he was going to be a firefighter. He quit his job at wherever. That's why he grew a mustache. That or gay porn, one or the other.
What? There are only 2 possibilities. Unless he's going to be Super Troopers 3.
Maybe. Did you see Young Washington yet?
No. I don't know.
I heard it got really good reviews. I wanted to
Is
see it with
that,
my boy.
I forget, is that Daily Wire or Angel Studios?
Angel did it. But it's got really good reviews from a bunch of people. The Jerry curl.
It could be the new Farba.
All right. What else? I've had a good time. This was a fun show.
Agreed.
I enjoyed it.
Very good.
I'm excited to hear Rerum Navarro tomorrow night. And then the local show about his boat breaking down.
Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait.
He just needs to take that boat and shoot it.
And then I'll just get another one.
I want to get a pontoon boat, little party barge,
Mm-hmm.
because like my in-laws have like a Mastercraft something, whatever.
Yeah.
A speedboat, whatever. It's nice, but man, like a boat has a mortgage. Like they've been paying on that boat since I got married to my wife, and that was 18 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
And they're going to be paying on it for a little while longer. Like, and that's everybody I know who buys a boat. It's a mortgage, man. It's a 25-year loan, which is insane to me. You're not done paying it off before you start having to make repairs to it.
That is crazy. I mean, up here, like you have either small fishing boats that you can put portage wheels on to take from lake to lake.
Okay.
Well, so you have canoes and kayaks, but like for boats, small fishing boats that people would put with portage wheels on, or you have pontoons, right?
Yeah.
And you'll get people from other areas come up here with the big bass boats, and it's like they're just gonna hit a big old rock and crack that thing wide open, dude.
We got bass boats everywhere. In fact, the town I'm at, they have a fishing tournament almost every weekend from like March to November. We have bass boats here, and those things are like skipping across the water.
Right? Yeah.
Like the only thing that's in the water is the motor.
Yeah.
Like, and everything else is floating. But when I'm on the lake, man, I just want to like relax and not like I'm not like a wakeboarder. I'm not a skier. Like, and you can still do those things on most pontoons, but that's not like I like to go out, float around, get in the water, right? Put a life jacket on, just sit on it and just float in the water, drinking beer all day. That's my lake time, right? I'm not. When I was younger, I used to do like all the, the wakeboarding and the tubing and all that, but not anymore, man. Now my kids, I might get a boat for my kids and let them do that stuff. But it's just not my thing, man.
No, me either.
Like I'm about to go to Louisville for 4 days, 3-4 days, and I know we're gonna be running every day. There's no such thing as relaxing on vacation for us, apparently.
Would you grenade fish?
Yeah, actually, I would. I would do dynamite fish. Would y'all send your sons to the TFP Chivalry LARP camp? Yeah, I think TFP is great. They're a little like cult of personality-ish, but I think they're a great organization. In fact, I had that conversation with my wife about the SSBX. And I mean, she just kind of defers whatever my opinion is because she doesn't have time to dive into that stuff. And even if she did, she would just defer to my opinion anyway. But we had an issue this Saturday when we went to confession where she was basically given some contradictory advice from another priest. And I had to tell her, like, look, we got to understand that the priests that we have been given, that we are having the church right now, most of them are given a very poor formation, and very few of them are read the moral manuals at all.
Yeah.
And so we can't priest hop to get the answer we want, right? You need, and I gave her the example when I first came back to the faith, and I tried to have a general confession with a priest. And I was in an invalid marriage because I got married outside the faith and did not get permission. And the priest at the time was a Nigerian priest who basically told me, yeah, you're an invalid marriage, but I'll go ahead. I'm going to absolve you, and you can you can receive the Eucharist. Just don't tell anybody. And I immediately thought, like, that doesn't sound right. Right. So then I went to another priest, Father Jack Durkin at St. Monica's in Duluth, Georgia. And he told me, no, do not receive the Eucharist. You cannot go to confession until you validate your marriage. You need to abstain from sex with your wife until you validate your marriage because otherwise you're fornicating. And I was like, you're probably right. I'm not going to stop doing that with my wife though, because I'm married and we're 10 years in at this point, and that's not going to happen. But I will abstain from the Eucharist until and that's what I did for a year, almost a year and a half. I went to mass and could not receive. So the first time I received, I bawled like a baby. But I realized at that time, if I have two choices when it comes to anything, I need to pick the choice that's the hardest, because that is most likely right, because it is contradictory to what my flesh wants me to do. So it's more than likely the correct answer. And so I had to, talk to my wife about that. Like, you can't go around and find the priest is going to give you the answer that you want, because you'll eventually find it. Right.
Yep.
Regardless if you're, but she's like, well, who would you trust to go to, to talk about this? I was like, the SSPX, without a doubt, because I know they've been properly formed. And I would have no qualms about it whatsoever. And we don't have one in our state. We don't have any traditional orders in our state. We don't have an ICKSB. We don't have an FSSB. We don't have, what is the other one? Good Shepherd. None of that. We have none of it. Right. But if I have, so when we're in Louisville, they don't have a priory there. They have a parish, but he's not there throughout the week. But if he happens to be there, hey, let's go talk to him real quick.
Yeah.
Pass this to him and see what he says. Because we are past the time of being able to accept milk. Right. We need to start eating we need to start eating meat when it comes to the faith. We're, especially with knowing as much as we know now, and knowing and having to grow in our faith, we got to grow up, and we got to stop blaming everything on somebody else and start taking responsibility for the things that we should know and the things that we should be practicing in our faith. Why am I the most honest podcast guy? What I say? Look, I don't share nearly what Anthony does. That boy telling everybody's business.
And everyone else's business with
no, which is why I pay for locals. And I'm a member of the YouTube. So I'm getting my money's worth.
Actually, you're definitely not.
I'm not, but one day.
But we appreciate it.
One day maybe I will. Look, man.
Yeah. One day, if both Ant and I can no longer have actual honest employment anywhere because of the crap we say, then yes, you will all start getting your money's worth. Because
you know what you ought to do for people who join the membership, right? Of you, like, do y'all get money from that?
The YouTube membership?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
What you ought to do is like, hey, you do your membership. It's thanks for supporting us, and like once a year, like y'all just like send a thank you card to the people who are members, because they're not getting anything for it. Just handwrite a letter like, hey man, appreciate you supporting us. Because if we don't support our friends, what are we doing? Because nothing.
Would it be inappropriate to write one handwritten letter and copy it?
Copy, just send out photocopies. Nothing irks me more than when I have a friend who owns a business, and all his friends and all the people that know him want discounts. Brother, the family this is supporting.
Yeah.
Like, why are you asking him for a discount? Like, help him out and patron his business and help him support his family. Quit asking for a handout. Yeah, y'all need to find something else other than locals.
Dude, I know, and we're working with, I don't know if Tom's watching right now. We're working with a guy who is working on something, but like, there's a reason why nothing's as good as YouTube, because apparently it's really hard to make something, it takes 20 years and a ton of money.
Yeah. No, the Council of St. Michael's not coming back. We have outlasted them. Here's the problem with the Council of St. Michael.
Oh boy.
Very few of those guys knew what the hell they were talking about. Like, if you have a guy that tells you should carry a 45 because they won 2 world wars, you should completely disregard anything he has to say after that. So I would not expect it. Rick Barrett's an okay guy, right? I like a lot of what stuff he does. Him and I occasionally get into a tussle about things, but it's behind the scenes. We don't do it publicly. It's been a while, but Rick Barrett's he's on the team, right? Joe Olivia, whatever his name was, he's Taylor Marshall's friend.
Yeah.
He there were some things he should not have been given advice on. But other than that, he's a good natured guy. He's trying to do his best. The problem is you have some guys who want to give advice on things they have very little experience with.
Yeah.
And it's an issue of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Like they think they know a little bit, so they think they know a lot. So that some of those guys, they just didn't know what the hell they were talking about, and they shouldn't have been giving any advice to anybody.
That's why I try to make very clear I am don't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time with this stuff.
And I try and just share all the experiences and information I know, right? But I'm never going to tell you something's black and white when I'm barely in the gray.
Ocean.
Right.
Ocean. You do not need to use
man.
certain adjectives like middle-aged.
Bro, we need to play this real quick before we get off here. I about lost my mind when I saw this.
Oh no. Is it Nick?
It is.
I haven't seen it.
All right.
It's nice having a podcast partner that knows how to do stuff like Shush. Oh, it's Fuentes. I thought you meant.
No, not Cavazos. Not
Cavazos.
Cavazos. No, I don't watch him. All right, let's see.
Keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Sneeko more like Frico sent $20. Sorry if you've answered this, but what do you think about people destroying flock cameras? IMO too risky, too reckless.
It's dumb. It's dumb. And it's not going to stop it. That's not the way they're putting them up. They put up like 1,000 of them every day. So I think that's just a LARP. Oh, well, definitely don't shoot them with the BB gun. It's like, grow up. Will you fucking grow up already? Stop the LARP.
Gasolina 420 cent $100.
Out there. So,
I mean, I get what he's saying.
but he's constantly telling people not to do anything about their situation.
A lot of times, yeah.
Like that's not the first time he's done that. Right. And so look, he has some opinions that I agree with. Right. But he's a Fed 100%. There is no reason that he shouldn't have been in jail with every other J6er after the massive amount of videos we have out there of him instigating people going into the Capitol building when other people were thrown into jail because they happened to be in DC when it happened and they had the wrong opinions about stuff. He is absolutely a Fed informant, without a doubt. And then his flip-flopping on Israel over the last few months.
I don't know if
bro,
what did he flip-flopped on?
His opinion of Israel has gone back and forth for the past few months. And his opinion on the thing he's known for is his thing against the Jews has gone back and forth. I'll go find the videos and send them to you. But I've gotten to the point where I can't watch him anymore because the hypocrisy is constant. Yes, Tucker's a Fed too, right? But these people can still inadvertently bring light to things that we need to hear about, and they're not aware of the repercussions of it, right? Which is the problem the Democrats have. In the fact that they don't understand human nature and they don't understand the diabolic entities that are controlling them. So occasionally they'll let us behind the veil and not be aware of it. Right. So although Tucker is a Fed and he's absolutely owned by Qatar, occasionally he will bring light to something that inadvertently is good for us to know about.
Ironically, he's the worst Fed.
He's actually the top Fed, the number one Fed.
If he's not a Fed, his girlfriend is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cash App, PayPal.
The problem is, like, Nick is always talking about it. Everything's a hypothetical with him. Nothing's about actual action. Well, anymore. Prior to January 6th, it was. Then January 6th happens, and he instigates things, and all of a sudden, it's all about, well, we shouldn't be doing anything like that, and you know, it's he's always criticizing people. He's always criticizing the man in the arena, the man who's actually doing something. And this is a guy who's telling people not to get married and don't have kids because, you know, women are girls and thoughts and all that. And he doesn't have, and he's giving advice on marriage and how women should be. Like, he's not even ever had a girlfriend. He's not married. He doesn't have kids. Why are y'all listening to this man about this stuff? Listen to men who've been there, who have a 20-year marriage, and who have kids who are successful, who have maintained the faith and left the house. These are the men you want to listen to, not a guy who gets paid for his opinions about edgy topics, who's never done anything but hang out with other homosexuals like Sneeko. These are not men you should be taking advice from. Does he bring certain topics to light that are now pushing over to the window? Yes, absolutely. And thankfully he is. Right? But that's about all he's good for. Anything else you need to disregard. No, that's not what Rob and Anthony and I have had told you. We've told y'all,
Well,
go find a nice Protestant girl and convert her.
not the way I did though.
Yeah, don't do the way. But if you're a man that's worth following, your wife will follow you.
It will work. It will work out.
But if you're a guy who wants to play video games all day and just wants to live an effeminate life, no woman wants to follow that. She's going to be the man in the relationship. You've got to be a man that leads, that's worth following. Otherwise, you might as well stay single, because you're just going to have heartache after heartache after heartache. Because you're basically wanting to date a mommy because you're not wanting to be a man. All right, what else we got? We need to get off here. It's 10:15.
We need to get to bed. You have a driving to do tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not right. It's only 5 hours.
Oh, really?
It's not that bad. Yeah. I'm going to make my kids go with me to get my hair cut, and then we're going to leave from there. And I got to make like 3 phone calls to clients on the way up there. That should be fun. All right, guys. Look, you want non-denominational part. You don't want mainline.
No.
Mainlines are feminists. You want a non-denominational evangelical that wears sundresses and has a southern drawl. That's what you want. All right. We're going to get off here. That's my advice to all of you who are single. No, stay away from normie Catholic girls. They're all feminists.
Same goes for most of the trad Catholic girls.
Yes. In fact, all is lost. Despair. Gordy's gone. I'll be outside.
Gordy's gone, man.
All right. As I finish my bourbon. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. We will see y'all probably next week. Hopefully nothing crazy happens and we can have a conversation that's not so blackpilling.
Nah, it's probably going to be worse.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be.